done a video in a few weeks, so I thought I'd do an interesting one on a trip I'm about to take to, what's it called, Eaglesmere Airport in Merritt Field, Pennsylvania. And this is a museum of antique aircraft that they're having a fly-in at this morning. This is Sunday. And a few of us from Sky Manor are flying out there. There's some vintage aircraft. Apparently there's a 1911 Moraine Borel, and then there's apparently a lot of other antique aircraft as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. A few people from the airport have left already. Woody's gone with his Cavalon ahead of us. He has a slower ground speed, so he wanted a little bit of a head start. And Jim and I are about to leave. To complicate things a little more, Donald Trump is visiting New Jersey this weekend again, and he's only about 12 or 13 miles from where I am at the moment. And so we've had to file flight plans and get squawk codes in order to leave the airport. Done that before. It's not really a big deal, but adds a little bit more complexity. Sky Manor area traffic, light support experimental is taking the active 7. Will be departing the area to the northwest. Sky Manor.
Northbound traffic, been in head to the south, 2,800 descending, 06.
Allentown, this is experimental November 9013 Bravo Charlie. I'm climbing through 2,100 to 3,000 direct to Merritt Field, Pennsylvania.
9013 Bravo Charlie, Allentown, departure right in.
B25, runway 64, Merritt Field. Merritt Field.
Well, before starting to look at the vintage aircraft, we were really pleasantly surprised to stumble into this auto museum, or this car collection, which I'd heard about, but I really hadn't planned on looking at. The museum is just spectacular. My understanding is the collector, I think his name is Mark Stitzer, loves 1950s and 60s automobiles, both cars and trucks, and apparently he has a collection of over 300 of them. The museum is basically housed in one of the hangars here at the airport, and he has maybe 75 or 80 of his collection on display. They are all spectacular. The outside and interiors are just pristine. They're even on, as you could see, some really interesting displays. So we spent a few minutes going through the museum. We probably should have taken our time and soaked it in a lot more. They were really, really spectacular. If you are interested in cars at all, and even if you're not, this is a museum that if you ever have a chance to wander through, I highly recommend it. Well, the highlight of the day and the purpose of our trip was really to look at these vintage aircraft as part of this aircraft museum, and we were not disappointed at all. What is really so impressive is the fact that in many cases, some of the models we were looking at were only one or two in the world today that are still flyable. Here in a museum pretty much off the beaten track in rural Pennsylvania. The creator of the museum and current president and owner of it is a fellow by the name of George Jenkins, and he clearly has a real passion for these early aircraft. What is so impressive is, well, the collection itself, which has over 30 of these aircraft alone would be impressive, is the fact that most of them are flyable. I think only 3 of them actually aren't flyable or haven't been flown in recent years, which is just unbelievable. These are mostly aircraft from the 1920s and 30s. They're all, again, in pristine condition. You can see that most of them have oil pans under the engine, so clearly they're actively flown from time to time. Again, it almost goes without saying, but if you're into aircraft at all, it really is worthwhile paying a visit to this museum. It's not open very often, I think only on weekends in the summer months. You do have to plan your visit, but it is definitely worth a while.